Today I am at Jesper's place once again, and we are training for the ETC, and I'm trying out a new list. And that is why there are some shameful unpainted miniatures right here, but that's how it is today. And we are playing the mission Cornered, and I am attacking against Anders' list, which is this German Panzer Grenadiers list, and we are to play on this urban area with some cornfields and stuff. These hedges are not bocage. We have ruled them as short terrain. And Anders have opted to deploy over here in this corner with his elephants here, some Pack 40s, a looted T-34, some flag units and some infantry. My objectives are placed here and behind this building right here. I am to start down from this area here. So let's see how it goes. We'll return after my deployment. This is how I opted to deploy. I am about to start my first turn, and just a quick run through where I placed my units. I have my Achilles down here, the blue platoon with the kangaroo transports here, my AVREs right here, my 2 IC and my 1 IC right there, my 6-pounders here with transports, and these down here are proxying for wasps. Then I have my 17-pounders right here, the red platoon, the kangaroos right here, and then I did a small spearhead move up towards this direction here, and otherwise I'm about to start my first turn. Anders have placed some minefield here because when we reread the mission we found that he has 4 minefields. So let's see how it goes. At the end of my movement I tried to push through here with some crosshair moves and stuff, but I rolled a lot of ones, but there's apparently a traffic jam right here, but some of my units pushed up here. All my transports pulled up the 6-pounders towards the minefields here, along with the red platoon that squeezed in between these 2 houses here, and now I'm about to unleash hell on that poor T-34 up there. So in the beginning of my shooting phase I don't have much to shoot with, but my 17-pounders will fire at the lone looted T-34 down here, and I will force him to join the elephants here, because otherwise Anders can bounce all the shots over on the elephants. And because it's an independent team I will opt to make him join there. But I have one 17-pounder that can only see this recon vehicle here, so he will shoot there afterwards. But 6 shots, needing 6s on the looted T-34. Let's see what happens. Not a single 6. But let's see if I can do something about the reconnaissance vehicle. 6s, none. So that was the poor shooting phase of turn 1, and otherwise it's Anders' turn. Anders has moved his elephants up here, and he's gonna shoot down on this vehicle here, kangaroo, and on one of the wasps down here. So let's see what happens. This one hits, misses. Yeah. 1 failed, of course. Yes.
2 shots on your lieutenants, 2 shots on the wasps, and 2 shots on the kangaroo.
Yeah. So which one first? For 1 hit, no concealed long range.
He's long range.
Yeah.
5s. And on 6s.
So 1 hit on
And a wasp.
a wasp. Let's see what you get. Failed again. It's some wet ammunition you're using, Anders.
Yeah.
Yes, you wanna range in with the mortars, yeah? First attempt, yeah. I think you can get everybody, including the not the commander, but all of these, yeah. Let's see if we can find a template. We'll be right back. So Anders ranged in with his mortars. So let's see, everybody. So all of the guns.
2 hits.
Yeah.
First wasp platoon. 1 hit.
Yeah, and the second? Nothing. Okay, so let's see if we can save. 2 on the transports. Saved. And 1 on a wasp. Goes through. No, it's a possible bail. 4 plus. Whee! 1 is bailed. Okay. And you ranged in there, yep. Okay, in the beginning of my turn I need to do some bookkeeping, and I need to try and bail this transport in. Let's see. The one I see is within range, so he will try and help him out. No, he's still bailed. Then this wasp right here. These are fine. And then the last platoon. He's fine as well. Right. Let's see if the kangaroo can bail in. No, he's still bailed. Now let's see what happens. I'm beginning to move right now. In my second turn, all of my stuff has moved slow but purposely towards Anders' lines. I managed to do a lot of crossing and blitzing and stuff with my aviaries, so they are now poised to shoot at some infantry stands here in this building. My kangaroos are up here, facing off towards the elephants. There's only so much stuff you can kill. My wasps are down here. All of my Achilles have shuffled up towards this direction here, and all my 6-pounders are down here. So next turn, Anders will unleash his ambush for sure, and we'll see what happens. But first of all, I will now try to range in with my aviaries. So, Anders, first attempt is the green die, second attempt is the yellow die, and third attempt is the red die. So it's just like a traffic light. There's 2 infantry stands in here, 1 there and 1 there. So let's see what happens. First attempt. So these guys here are veterans. So I need a force to hit. So the red die will be this guy, and the green die will be this guy. 2 hits. So you need to reroll successful saves. So this guy first.
He's dead.
And the other guy.
He's dead.
He's dead. 270 millimeters of democracy. A flying dustbin. So the platoon is pinned.
Yeah, the platoon is dead.
The platoon is dead. It was 2 HMGs. Okay. And now I will shoot up here. With these 17-pounders, the only viable target is a reconnaissance vehicle here. So I have 3 guns that can shoot past these guys up here. Draw some sort of line. So on the first gun, hitting 7s, none. The second gun, none. And the third gun, none. The rest of my aviaries have nothing to target at the moment. So it will now be Anders' second turn. So Anders have his movement finished right now, and he is opted to move his elephants down towards the fearsome AVREs that just killed his MT platoon friends. And then his heroic 2IC is down here, the Panzerfaust, ready to follow up on Anders' attempts to kill the AVREs here. And then the rest of his reconnaissance units have moved up towards here. And we are about to start firing. Anders have opted not to ambush yet. It's dangerous as long as it's in ambush. And he didn't get any reserves. So Anders, where do you want to shoot first?
Start with these two.
Yeah.
One of this platoon and one of this.
Yeah. Needing force.
So the blue die is
That platoon, yeah. So one hit, yeah. So you have anti-tank 17.
yes.
So I have no chance. Firepower 3+.
And it's dead.
It's dead. It blows up. The smithereens. We'll add some flames towards it here. Tiny flames. Blew up, yes. Okay, so Anders is now trying to get rid of the last AVRE down here. So he's firing with this Pack 40, needing 5s. Nothing. And then the T-34.
Yes. And this one as well.
Yeah.
No.
No. And then what about this? Are you gonna fire this one as well?
No, they were gonna stay.
Okay, good. It's gone to ground. All right.
And then Panzerfaust.
Yeah. Needing 5.
No.
Misses. All right. Is that it, Anders?
That's it, yes.
Any stormtrooper moves? Okay. So let's see what happens. Was any assaults? No assaults. Okay. So we'll be back with my turn 3. So in the beginning of my turn, I need to do some bookkeeping. First of all, let's see if my chief on pins, he shouts at himself and his 2IC buddy, needing a 4 with reroll. They're on pin, and I need to see if this kangaroo bails in, needing a 4. Yes.
5. No, 4 is not enough.
4 is not enough. Are you sure?
Yes,
Let's check.
5 or 6.
Reluctant. Okay. So he stays bailed out. We'll put a token on him. Alright. And then finally, let's see if this guy runs away, needing a 4. He flees, and Anders is very happy because I had a range-in marker saved here from the last round. So now the first casualties, my poor AVREs are dead, but the rest of my force will revenge them. My AVREs, unfortunately, one of them blew up in a minefield down here because I did a blunder. I didn't use my 2IC to remove the minefield because he was already positioned in it. So when I tried to make a skill test in 3+, unfortunately I struck a mine and blew up the AVRE. But his platoon commander of that platoon is up here, and he's now trying to bombard here with a template, and he is able to just barely touch the 2IC in here from Anders' forces and the gun up here. So I'm needing a 4, the traffic light. Let's see what happens. In the third attempt, so needing 6s. So the red die will be the gun, and the green one will be his 2IC. Nothing, but I'm ranged in. Anders is happy, he's cheering in the background. So let's see what happens. We missed filming the shooting of these kangaroos, but they killed the Pack 40 that was deployed right here. I've had dismounted my 6-pounders here. They will now fire 5 shots into the 2IC here on 5s. So let's see what happens. One more die. Needing 5s. I got 2. So let's see if Anders can save. He saves. Got 2 hits on the 2 AC. We're moving on to the infantry platoon that's debussed, as it's called in England, off and towards this building here, and is now preparing to fire and assault Pack 40. But before that, I have a small peer team here that will attempt to hit this looted T-34, but it is a trained vehicle, and I'm in high terrain, so it doesn't get any concealment from the low terrain. But due to the fact that I moved, I need to hit on force, right?
Yes.
So let's see. Here it goes. It missed. But the rest of the platoon will fire on Pack 40 platoon. So 1 shot from here, 1 shot from here, down towards here. This guy is going to shoot down here. Let's see what goes. And the Piat will also, sorry, the mortar will also fire here. So 3 empty shots, 2 on this guy. Nothing. And 1 on this guy down here. Hit, sorry. Hit on a 6 up here on the red die. And 1 light mortar that moved, so it's gonna need 5s to hit. Missed. But 1 empty shot here. Okay, so it has 2 hits on him now. Let's see if these guys, I think they can fire down here. Do you agree?
Yes.
So 9 empty shots, needing 6s, I guess. No, you're concealed. Oh, 9 5s. 5s, yeah. 6 dice here. Nothing. And then 3 more. 1 hit. Saved. So now it has 3 hits in total. Can you check if they have line of sight towards the gun here?
This one.
Okay. So he will fire 2 50 cal shots, needing 5s. 6s. So 1 6. Eating a 5. No. 4 hits in total. Let's see if I can find 1 more hit. Okay, so we are in the assault step, and I will assault here with my infantry towards this guy here. So I will get shots from here if I assault like this. But I'd rather that than all of these guys firing. So these 2 guys will assault in front there. So you have 2 shots.
Yeah. 2 from this one.
1 hit.
2 from this one.
Nothing. And then 4 from that guy on 5s.
Yes. 3 hits.
3 hits. Alright. So the guy in the back will be the red die, and sorry, 2 hits on him and 1 hit on him. Needing freeze. Oh, cock die. Makes it. So, like this. Come on a free. Yes. Destroys the gun. You dare to counter attack. Where's the boss? Oh, he's too far away.
Oh, he can't.
You can't, no, because it's independent. So if I consolidate towards this, can he move away? He has text of 10 or what?
No more than 15.
No more than 15 away. So the assault stops and I can consolidate 10 centimeters, so I will go into this building. That's it. They are pinned. And now it's Anders' second turn. So So Anders is now in his third turn ambushing with all of these stummels, and he'll also try and get his reserves in. He has at least one, but he needs to roll 3 dice for the reserves. So let's see. How many do you get, Anders?
1.
1. Okay, we'll be back after Anders' movement. In Anders' third turn, he ambushed here with his stummels, and he moved up some infantry because he got 1 die worth of reserves. And he has been hammering my guns down here, killing 1 with direct firing, and didn't manage to kill anyone with his mortar bombardment because he only has 2 mortars. Otherwise, he killed 1 infantry stand up here and bailed out 2 kangaroos and killed 1 down here with fire from his elephants. So now it's time for my bookkeeping. My first I see is within 15 here, so he will try and unpin my guns, which is very clutch. So needing force. Yes, they're unpinned. And I have 2 vehicles down here, the kangaroos, and they are only reluctant, so they will bail in on a 5. Let's see. No. Do they flee? Yes. So the infantry has to get out of the vehicles, and I need to see if he can bail in up here. No, he still bailed. Otherwise, there's nothing else for me to do. So I will remove these and get my infantry out. I also need to do a last stand for my AVRE here, needing a 4. It should be very beneficial for me. Let's see if I can make it. Yes, he stays. Very clutch.
And,
Yeah, I already did that.
no, the infantry, they are pinned.
They're pinned, yes, exactly. So they most likely will dig in. Let's see what happens in my movement phase. I fired with my 6-pounders up towards Anders' infantry platoon here in vehicles, and destroyed 2 vehicles. Otherwise, I just fired down here with 50 cals and LMGs and bailed one of his flak vehicles. Otherwise, nothing much happened. I moved up some infantry here. Sorry, my wasps here, and my kiddies on the flanking movement here. And the guys here, they bailed out, and 2 front teams up here has dug in. Otherwise, the other guys just bailed out. And now I just ranged in with my AVRE here, and hoping for Anders to roll some 1s. Most important thing is that his infantry is underneath. So now I need force to hit. Let's start with your guy. No. And then these 2. The red one is the bailed out one. Nothing. And then the big gun. No. And then this vehicle up here, yeah. Don't roll a 1. Yes, he's bailed.
And
4 regular MG cards. Yes, let's see. 2 of them are hits. Okay, so any assaults? No, actually not. There's nothing I can do. So it's Anders' turn 4. So Anders has moved up his reserves towards here, and he has been shuffling the elephants backwards, but he failed the blitz, so they moved and failed the blitz. His infantry, 1 stand, has moved up in the forest here, and otherwise he fired with his booted T-34 and killed 1 of the kangaroos, and now he's hit my universal carriers with cannon fire from this reconnaissance platoon right here. So let's see what happens. Needing 5s. So 1 is dodged and 1 is possible bail. Nothing. Okay.
And machine gun fire on 6. 1 hit.
Yeah. You want to put it on the Piet?
Yes.
I'll try and swap it. No. Piet needs a 3+ save. No, don't roll 6. Yes. So I have 1 hit at the moment.
And then 3 shots from command. No.
Yeah, contact ground. I didn't do anything the last turn. Yes.
These will do.
Fire here on the universal carriers. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. AA guns.
3 hits.
3 hits. Anti-tank 7 or what?
5.
5. Okay, so 1 on each.
Yes.
So 1 is to destroy.
1 to destroy. 1 is
Bailed. Okay. Yes, I'll put a mark on it. At the end of Anders' turn 4, I didn't manage to film it, but he assaulted with his 2AC that was in here, but he got killed by MG fire, and otherwise, because he should have just snuck up on tanks, but he opted to fire with the Faust, so he was not being able to use sneak up on tanks, so I killed him in defensive fire, and then otherwise he's just shooted and scooted a little bit. He killed 1 of my guns up here, and because it's a practice mission, we ran out of time, so we couldn't play anymore, but most likely Anders would kill some of the universal carriers here, my wasp and so on and so forth, and then obviously I would return fire here and most likely kill some stuff here from these guys towards here, but we're trying to practice for the ETC, therefore we ran out of time and it would have ended in a draw, and at DTC it would bring us no big points, so but a draw. Thanks for watching.